Good morning, everyone. So, as we are continuing with the pregnancy and the parturition, in that we are continuing with the parturition. So, in that we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about the what are the placental hormones. That means what are the hormones that are secreted by the placenta. So, in that there are three type of hormone which are secreted by the placenta. So, first is estrogen, progesterone, and prostaglandin. So in that we were completing estrogen, progesterone and the oxytocin hormone. Today we will talk about the relaxin. So relaxin hormone which is secreted from the maternal ovary, and you can say for the corpus luteum or you can say from the placenta. Now from the corpus luteum it is secreted during the initial stage of the pregnancy. After that as the corpus luteum will be destroyed, after that it will secreted from the placenta. So what are the function of the relaxin hormone? So relaxin hormones will help, it will help during the labor time to softening of the cervix, and it will loosening the ligaments of the symphysis pubis, so that the dilatation of the cervix can occur easily. So first function of the relaxin hormone is that it will help cervix to become soft, and also it will also loosening the ligament of the symphysis pubis, and due to this cervix dilatation will be occur during the labor stage. Second is increase the number of the receptor for the oxytocin into the myometrium layer. So it will relaxin will increase the number of the receptor for the number of the receptor of the oxytocin into the myometrium layer of the uterus. Third function is that it will simultaneously suppresses the inhibitory action of progesterone on uterine contraction, so that the uterus starts contracting. So relaxin also suppresses the inhibitory action of progesterone, and because of that uterine contraction will be occur, and it will uterine contraction will be start occur. It will start contracting. Uterine muscle will be start contracting properly during the labor stage. Fourth function of the relaxin is facilitate the development of the mammary glands. So it also helpful to develop the mammary gland into the female. So this is about the relaxin hormone. Next we will talk about the prostaglandin. So in the recent time, the prostaglandin which are considered to the which are considered as a vital sign or vital role into the they will play a vital role into the labor. So prostaglandins, which is particularly the synthesis of the prostaglandin, which is known as the PGE2, as I told you before in last video. So synthesis of the prostaglandin, which will facilitate the labor, and it will also increase the increase the force onto the uterine muscle, and because of that it will increase the uterine contraction. Now this prostaglandin substance which will secreted from the uterine, which is secreted from the uterine tissues as well as fetal membrane and the placenta, and their contraction is increased into the maternal blood and amniotic fluid at the time of the labor. So during the labor time the contraction of the prostaglandin will be increased into the maternal blood as well as into the amniotic fluid. So prostaglandin will increase the force of the uterine contraction, and by elevating the intracellular concentration of the calcium ions into the uterine muscles. So how it will increase the uterine muscle contraction? So what prostaglandin will do? It will elevate the intracellular concentration of calcium ions into the uterine muscles. So because of that, this uterine muscle contraction will be increases by the prostaglandin hormone. Next is catecholamines. So it is believed that circulating adrenaline and noradrenaline also might might increase the uterine contraction through the alpha adrenergic receptor. So into the catecholamine, the adrenaline and noradrenaline, which is already present into the body of the mother. So what they will do, they will increase, they may be increase the uterine contraction during the with the help of the alpha adrenergic receptors. So this is about the catecholamines. Next is cortisol. How the cortisol will help? So at the time of the labor, hypothalamus release the large amount of the corticotropin releasing hormone, which is CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone. Now this hormone will increase the release of the cortisol from the adrenal cortex. So because of this releasing hormone will release the cortisol from the adrenal cortex, and cortisol will enhance the uterine contraction, and it will play an important role into the helping mother to withstand the stress during the labor. So during the labor time, as the mother or the lady will bear more amount of the stress as well as more amount of the pain. So to bear that stress, or to bear that labor pain, the cortisol will help to do that for the women. Next we will talk about the placenta. This is the new chapter, and we will start with the placenta. So what is the placenta? In that, what we will include into the placenta. So first of all, what is the placenta? What is the function of the placenta, and what is fetoplacental unit? So first is introduction. Placenta is a temporary membranous vascular organ that develops into the female during the pregnancy. So during the pregnancy time, placenta is the temporary membrane type of structure that will temporary membrane type of structure, vascular structure or vascular organ, which is developed during the pregnancy into the female body. So as the childbirth will occur, after that it will also expel out. As the childbirth will occur, after that this placenta also expelled out. Now placenta, which will forms like a link between, it will act like a link between maternal body as well as the fetal body. Now it is considered as an anchor for the growing fetus. So it is considered as an anchor, means with the help of the placenta, fetus can take its necessary amount of the nutrition as well as the amniotic fluid, or as well as the necessary thing, or the necessary products that fetus will take from the placenta, with the help of the placenta from the mother's body. It is not only a physical attachment between the fetus and mother, but also forms a physiological connection between two. So it is, as they say, it is not only physical connection but also a physiological connection between the mother and the fetus. Now placenta is implanted in the wall of the uterus. It is formed from both embryonic and maternal tissue. So how the placenta will form? Placenta will form with the help of the maternal as well as the fetal tissues, and also it is it consists of two parts, namely fetal part and the mother's part. As it is made up of the two tissue, like fetal tissue and the mother tissue. So it is it is considered as a two part, like first is fetal part and second is maternal part or mother's part, which is connected to the fetus by umbilical cord, and which contain blood vessel as well as connective tissues. So how the placenta will connect with the fetus? So it will connect with the help of the umbilical cord. So umbilical cord which will carry the blood vessels as well as the connective tissues. Now the delivery of the fetus is followed by the expulsion of the placenta. So as the delivery of the fetus will occur, after that the expulsion of the placenta will occur. Now after the expulsion of the placenta, the umbilical cord is out. So after the placenta will expelled out, after that umbilical cord will also expelled out after the childbirth. Now the site of the attachment of the placenta in the center of where the placenta will attach into the female body. So at the site of the attachment of the placenta is in the center of the anterior abdomen of the fetus, which is known as the navel or umbilicus. So how it is attached with the fetus? So it is attached with the fetus like into the anterior at the side of the anterior abdomen during the navel, at the navel or umbilicus. So this is about the introduction of the placenta. Next is function of the placenta and the fetoplacental unit that we will see into the next video. Thank you.